So my name is Myka Watson, as many of you know, because you're coming from Josh's channel. Say hi, Josh.
Hi.
Um, and today we are going to be drawing a... Oh, wow. I should mute that.
Yeah, just go to YouTube. Yeah, click on that one and...
No, that's one.
pause the video. There you go.
There we go. You can totally tell that I'm super well prepared for this. So what we're going to be doing today is drawing a Zelda fan art, which is timely because the Nintendo Switch just came out and the new Zelda game just came out, which really is...
And I'm playing it right here.
Yeah, right there. And it looks like super duper awesome, and I'm super excited. And I was going to watch Josh's stream earlier, but then I didn't. So I'm just so excited for it. Zelda is actually one of the few video games that I've ever played all the way through, and I've loved every single second of it. So what we're going to do today is draw Zelda, because she's awesome. And here, let me pull up. Oh, hi, Leo. And hi, Mining Cat. Hi, Slimeball. Yep, super prepared. Get Josh's help. I didn't actually expect anybody to be watching, but hi. So what we're going to draw today is, oh, there. This scene from the trailer, I just watched the trailer a couple of times, and I picked a couple of scenes that I really liked, and this was one of them, and then I went through it frame by frame to find the perfect frame to draw, and this was it. So that's what we're going to do today. So my skill level at this point is such that what I draw generally has to be gridded out so that I can transcribe it inch by inch and not die. So that's what I did with this image. I just cropped it, and then I put an inch by inch grid on it so that I could follow that as a reference to draw it, and then I made it grayscale so that would be easier to see, like the shadows and the bright areas. And I'm actually going to draw this in color, but first I wanted to see it in grayscale. And you may or may not be able to see... Oh, hi, King Parks 14. I'm just so surprised that people are actually watching this. So you may not be able to see it, but it looks like you can a little bit on my screen. But I started out by drawing a 1 by 1 inch grid on my paper here. I used this pencil. Can't really read it. There we go. It's a Prismacolor color erase pencil, and it's non-photo blue, or copy not non-photo blue, more specifically for the artist nerds out there in my life. And oh, thanks, Leo, for leaving a like. Hi, Jeremy. Don't call me babe. Hi. No thanks. Josh was just saying that I should just be sexy on this channel, but I don't really think that will come across well in my mundane drawings. But you may not be able to see it, but I did a 1 by 1 inch in that non-photo blue pencil. It's really good. It's really light. You can barely see it, but it just leaves a good reference for you. So let's start drawing. Hooray! So I'm also open to questions. This is kind of like an informal, long-form Q&A. So if you guys have any questions about me or Josh or Pickles, go ahead and shoot them off in the comments, and I will try to, answer them. So here we go. So I'm looking at my reference on one screen here. You can't see it, but it's there. References are super important for drawing, and you should never be ashamed for having to use them, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I'm going to start with her head and go from there. So this is a very exciting part where I count. We met King Parks at 7. At college. We were living in the same kind of quad of buildings. He was living in the guys' dormitory, and I was living in the girls' dormitory. Apparently I can't say that word today, but whatever. And yeah, so that's where we met. We actually lived very close to each other 2 times. The first time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's where her head is. The first time was like spring. No, not spring. Winter semester, which goes from the winter to the spring. And no, I'm already failing so spectacularly at this. Normally when I do this, I actually just zoom in and go grid by grid and draw an outline. But this time I wanted to stretch myself a little bit and draw the framework, which is kind of like the next place to go for this. For your drawing talent, rather. So you guys get to see me struggle and make a fool of myself a little bit. Hooray! And Josh is just over in the corner playing his Zelda game on his Switch. No, I didn't kill Josh. He's just over there. He actually helped me set up the stream, and then he came and helped me do an emergency mute on my own stream so that I wouldn't get a horrendous echo. Oh, and I'm going to listen to the music too.
Is your music going?
No, it's not going.
Just turn it on YouTube. On your YouTube app.
Oh, okay. There we go. Now there's music.
Yeah, and if you want to turn it up, it's that knob right there.
Okay. Oh, hi, Chris White. And Josh did kind of say hi.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, he's here. He's playing his new game. It's really cool.
Playing the Switch, so.
And I'm just gonna draw and chat with you guys. So I'm really pretty new at drawing. Like I mentioned before, even just doing this framework is kind of new for me.
Yeah, I died.
Oh, he died.
I jumped off a cliff.
Josh jumped off a cliff, and that killed him. Not the real Josh, thankfully. So I'm just doing a really rough framework. And by the way, let me know, assuming that there are future streams and that any of you ever watch them again, how much of the drawing you actually want to see. Because, like, I am going at this basically from a blank page. So if that's just super boring to you and you just want to see the exciting part, let me know. And I will do my best to oblige. Oh, this isn't actually my wedding ring slime ball, but thank you. This was my grandmother's ring when she was a little girl. And I got it because I was the smallest grandchild. My wedding ring is out for cleaning right now and repairing. So I don't get to wear it for like 2 weeks, and it's really weird. But fun, you know, to have a clean, nice ring that isn't broken. But the nice thing is that we have a lifetime of the ring warranty on it. Alright, so here is our very, 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 very rough sketch. You can tell that it's rough because she doesn't have a face. Now let's put in some general shapes of her hair. when I think most of you probably have heard this story before. I was just distracted by Slimeball Gaming's comment there. But when Josh and I were just barely dating, one of his roommates was getting married. This isn't far enough forward. Time for the eraser! Ryan. And we decided to have a contest over the summer before he was getting married, to see who could play the most Zelda games. And that was actually the first time I'd ever played a Zelda game. And I loved it so much. And that also was an opportunity for my random and very sparsely displayed sense of competition to show through. What? Josh said I shouldn't use such big words, but I believe you guys and you guys that you can understand my big words such as random and sparse. But I'll just leave her head for now, because everyone loves looking at someone drawing a decapitated lady's body. But I thought they were really cool, and I actually ended up winning the. Josh just got run over by a boulder. No, I'm enjoying your presence. It's helping me feel less awkward if you're talking a little bit. That's true. And I actually ended up winning, and I played 4 Zelda games from start to finish. So I haven't played them all, but I'm super excited for this new one because it's open world. I don't draw as much as I want to in my spare time, Chris. I think that's probably true of every artist, though. Alright. Can this zoom in? I need to zoom in. Oh, my mouse is over there. Josh is a... Oh, there. Josh's 2-screen setup confuses me sometimes. Oh, what is... Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. So here I'm bringing out my cool graphite woodless pencil. I actually really love this thing. It feels pretty weighty and neat, so that's why I have it. So now I'm going to go in with the zoomed in very close and very carefully following the outline of what I see in my grid system portion of the evening. And Slimeball, I feel like you probably actually already know but that works because it's a different sort of phenomenon that is happening. So here I'm just very lightly sketching in her face so that I can erase it a lot and get it exactly right. And there, her eyes kind of going right here. So feel free to ask me more questions, guys, if you have them. If you don't, you can just listen to the sound of my voice and watch me draw and relax or fall asleep, depending. My shoulders are probably up too high. But that's why I drew it in lightly. Chris, I have been doing art. Well, if you count from the beginning date to now, I've been doing art for probably over 2 decades. But considering that I'm 25, you can trust that that has not all been serious pursuit of art. Zoom in a little bit more. I recently took up art again. That was too much zooming. It's pixelization. I took up art again just at the beginning of the year, but there have been several points in my life where I took art classes. Like when I was in high school, I was able to take some community college level classes across the street from my high school. And when I was younger, my mom and dad actually paid for me to have art classes. Let's follow this arm out. But all I remember about that particular experience is that I drew a portrait of one of my characters because I was very into writing at the time. And everyone thought it was a self-portrait, and I found that very annoying because I explained several times that it was not a self-portrait, but I was drawing one of my characters, and that she didn't even look anything like me, even though she had short brown hair. Like, that was literally the only thing that was similar. But, like, years and years later, I noticed that it was hanging up in my mom's house. And I was like, oh, I remember this thing. I drew it. And she's like, yeah, it was a really good self-portrait for your age. And I was like, we talked about this like 6 times over the past decade or 2. Like, seriously, it's not a self-portrait. I don't think she's taken it down yet.
You can't just jump off of this into water.
Oh, it still kills you? So Josh is learning about the physics of this new world.
It's crazy to me that this is the whole concept.
Josh, you're pushing me off of the chair.
Behind me.
Okay, I'll just ignore you.
Yeah.
Totally possible at this point.
I'm sorry, I'll leave.
Yeah, Josh is a really funny guy. I enjoy having him in my life. Alright, there's taco stuff. Are you guys excited about the new Zelda game? I really am. It's just going to be so much fun to play it. I eventually want to get to the point where I'm not using the grid method. Because I mean, you're limited a little bit in what you can do using this. And this needs to be a little bit further over. But like I mentioned, I just recently took it back up, so. So this is the surest method for me to get something that resembles the end product that I was aiming for. And I am trying to be a little looser this time and less exacting. I posted on my Twitter that self-portrait I did, and it was also using this method. And I spent just hours on it. And I was still, I'm sure everyone is, but I was still a little disappointed with its churn out, or the results. But that's because I'm a perfectionist, so. I should probably talk a little bit louder than that. Can you guys hear me okay? I am kind of just making anecdotes for myself. Josh is just being a goofball off stream for my benefit. Yes, Chris, I am drawing Zelda. This is a still from the trailer that I selected. I really like it because it's just very powerful, and although Zelda has been a main character for decades at this point, she doesn't have a lot of depth in most of the games. She's just the damsel in distress, much like Princess Peach. But this one, it's just a powerful image, and I enjoy it a lot. I don't currently have any tips for drawing human faces. Come on, go away. There you are. Except that, you know, practice is always good. I am following a couple of YouTube artists. And so I've probably watched probably half a dozen YouTube tutorials on how to draw human faces, and I am still practicing. But this slightly lame method of just trying to transcribe as much as possible, mixed in with trying to get the basic form beforehand for practice purposes, seems to be doing me a good service as far as a method goes. I'm going to draw the background pretty dark. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I have my graphite pencils set out beside me as well as my color pencils. So probably some combination of those two. You know, surprise, surprise. You took my water. Little sneaky thief. He just told me he has a water addiction, and if water can be an addiction, I should hope that we all have it, because we do need it to survive. I really love her dress. I think it's really pretty. Hi, Mikey. Any tips for shading? One tip could be that crying is okay. No, I find that trying to simplify your shading as much as possible, and really think of it in shapes, helps. Yep. Thank you, Mikey. Awesome optic. I'm looking forward to your tweet. Thank you, dear. He brought back the water he stole.
I have a drinking problem. I drink too much water. Sometimes I have to stay on the feed.
You can come make jokes on screen if you want, dear.
I'm eating a giant burrito, though.
People won't know what I'm laughing at if you just stay off the screen.
But I'm eating a giant burrito and it's kind of gross. Like, I mean, no, it's good, but like...
It's gross to watch you eat it.
Yeah, exactly. It's gross to watch people eat stuff in general, so... I'll be right back.
Love you. See ya, Mikey. Simplify, like... Have a shaded area, and then have the... I think it's called the Terminator line, but I feel like that might be incorrect. You know, the shaded to non-shaded line. And especially, I'm gonna turn off this because I got the space heater with my toe. Talk about talent. And like, shading and shading well is what makes the difference between realistic drawings and just regular lovely drawings. And I've definitely, probably like everyone, have binged quite a bit on, you know, this person draws what looks like a bag of chips sitting on the page, but it's actually just a drawing that they did. What's your joke, Slimeball? Oh, see you later, Slimeball. Maybe we'll see your joke later. I just started like a few minutes ago, I think, Optic Plays. I think YouTube should tell you. It's been a very short while, which is why it looks like this. Alright, time for this shoulder. Okay, this is farther away over here. Sneaky, sneaky Josh. And I literally just checked to see if you stole my water again, and that's what you were talking about being sneaky, sweetheart. Well, I'm glad you like the burritos at least. Josh and I are currently doing this fun thing where both of us are too lazy to cook 9/10 of the time. And so this is Josh's first like real meal that didn't include cereal in about like a week, I would say. Well, that hand looks like a giant blob of blobbiness. But it's okay. Alright, well, no, it's not. I'm gonna. Hi, Parker. Gonna do that later. Alright, let's work on her hair maybe. Thanks, Jeremy. I don't know if Josh is still watching, Parker. He might have literally just popped in for like 3 seconds. Thanks, Parker. I'm glad you guys are impressed so far. Like, I'm feeling this gradually rising sense of like, what am I doing on YouTube? But that is a-okay. Josh and I have this joke of where it's my job to worry and it's his job to act impulsively. You know, just like the stereotypical sitcom relationship. But wow, that head looks like a goblin's head, but that's okay. Partially it's because you can't see where her neck is. Let me look at my other reference real fast. Oh yeah, her head looks like a blob in my reference because it looks like a blob in the original photo. So at least there's that. Well, so I'll have to fix that with, you know, genius uses of color in a minute here. actually. Yeah. What is everyone's favorite Zelda game so far? I missed your mod joke, Josh. What was your mod joke? Let me see. I'm sorry I missed your mod joke, sweetie. It was very funny. He said, "Can I please be a mod? I've been a loyal viewer for a very long time," which is very funny because I'm sure you all know people could say that in Josh's stream like every single day. See you, Parker. Thanks, Parker. Just reading the conversation going on in the chat. My favorite is Twilight Princess as well. It's just so breathtaking. Although I did really enjoy Wind Waker too. That's funny, Josh. Well, up until now, to be fair, it's been kind of like a oh haha, thanks for subbing. You'll never see anything, but I guess that's great. So I'm just gonna erase my guides now. So there was no reason for you to sub, sweetie. Alright, so now here's the part where I decide if I want to tackle the hands, and head first in more detail, or if I want to start adding color and shading with my color pencils. That was Josh's phone ringing. It connected to his Mac Mini. Some advice that I've taken to heart has been that you should do the hardest, most intimidating part of your drawing last. So that in the time that you spend working on this piece, you can be ruminating on it and chewing on the nut of that problem of, you know, how am I going to do this stupid hand and this stupid face that looks like a big blob, for instance, just randomly off the top of my head. So I'm just kind of listening to Josh's conversation because I'm a big sneaky sneaks. So that, like, you can prepare yourself mentally for the problem of drawing hands, for instance, before you actually have to tackle that problem. I'm gonna try one more time though, on this hand at least. Do a weird pose so I can kind of feel how it is. And here's her thumb. Well, we'll pretend that that looks better. Alright. Let's see how I feel about that. So now I'm just kind of closing my eyes and allowing my brain to reset for just a few seconds. It's really better if you get up and you walk away and you do something else for like 5 minutes and then you come back and say, oh, this is totally disproportionate garbage. Or, oh, I did actually better than I thought I did. Depending on what kind of artist you are. But obviously that doesn't really work for streaming. Okay, I'm going to add the shadows first. Basically the deepest, darkest shadows. Let's see. I'll go back to this so you can see my reference again. So right here on her arm, and then like here on her body, which I just realized you can't see me pointing with my my mouse right there. So like on the side of her head, underneath her arm that's extended towards the light, and on the side of the arm that is, you know, the other arm, she only has two, as well as on her chest, is where the darkest shadows are. And I'm just going to put in those shadows first, still following my grid really closely, and also on her hair, just a teeny tiny bit. So that's what I'm going to do next. No, that's not what I want to click. There it is. I shouldn't go back and forth from the reference so much because you can see how much mine looks like. Sorry, now I'm just staring fascinated at her head and trying to figure out what's wrong with it. But that's okay. I'm going to stay away from her head for now. And first I'm going to draw the shadows on this arm. The end drawing will mostly be in gold, kind of a yellowy. It's a very like monochromatic sort of picture. Oh, whoa, my reference is still on screen. Oh no. Haha. And now it looks like Princess Zelda has armpit hair, but that's okay. It's kind of a monochromatic picture. And so in order to do the shadows, I'm just laying down a very, very light start out with layer of purple. I'm using black grape purple from Prismacolor. I was able to get a set of Prismacolor pencils for Christmas from like a gift card, and that's really what spurred my see ya, Jeremy. Spurred my re-interest in art. So I've been doing mostly pencil drawings. The trick with colored pencils is to do it extremely lightly. Alright. Moved here to her arm or underarm area. I was really excited to do this stream because it just seems timely to do a Zelda fan art stream right when a new Zelda game is coming out. But I did wake up at 5 this morning, so I probably will not finish it tonight. You'll just have to tune in next time for the exciting conclusion. I keep losing my mouse on the other screen. I really just find drawing super relaxing, and I kind of wanted to create a relaxing environment. A nice place to hang out. Hi Timor, I'm glad you could stop by. We're drawing Princess Zelda right now. I laid in the basic framework using a grid as a guide. You may or may not be able to see it on your screen. It's very light. And now I'm doing the very, very first coat of color of a shadowy black grape. But I'll probably have to go to sleep in about an hour. And I'll just put in the barest touch of shadow here. There's gonna be, you know, more to her hair than purple. I have not drawn any animated characters yet. I mean, I'm drawing one right now, but do you mean like I animated some characters myself, or did I draw some other cartoon character before this? But I guess the answer to both questions is no. Alright, time to tackle the face a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring up my reference. Look at the grid lines. I'm trying to figure out why my face does not look like a face yet. Yeah, Timor, it mostly just seems timely. I love Zelda. And there's a new Zelda game! Hooray! Maybe it's there? Let's erase that chin for now. So, Slimy, if you're still watching, this is what I was talking about when I was saying the Terminator line. In my reference, you can see a very clear, this part of her face is in light and this part of her face is in shadow kind of deal going on. I'm sorry, Timor. Yeah, the music is still going on my end. Can you guys still hear it? My phone does have 10% battery left now. Here I'm kind of outlining the shadows that I see on her face in the hope that by blocking it out I can get kind of a more accurate picture. Because the face is kind of an important part to the drawing. The really trouble I'm having here is her chin area. I'll turn up the music a little bit. Is that better? So what the takeaway lesson you can get from this is that everybody struggles with the face. It's okay to struggle with the face.
me to steal my headphones.
There we go. Well, that's marginally better. Hooray! Yeah, it's getting kind of late, Timor. For most people, I imagine. Either that or I'm just boring. Only time will tell. I'm going to put some of the shadows into her dress now. I'm going to use purple still again because the dress is also golden in the picture that I'm going off of. Just the very darkest shadows right now, though. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Timor. It's kind of surprising and nice that anybody has watched any of this, so I will not complain ever. Still looking at and considering that face. Suppose it's time I could sketch in these lines here. She has a nice little pleated, I guess is the correct word. Bit. Because her dress has 2 layers on it. drawing is just a good activity for everybody, Timor. It's just a good way to be creative and to relax and, you know, all the things. Alright. So I'm gonna revisit the head one more time. The problem is that in my reference photo, it's pretty washed out and like the detail just isn't really there. So it's hard to see exactly what could be better. Well, here's the... and where exactly the lines just aren't quite right. But hopefully, if I do my best, it'll just come across as all on purpose. Alrighty. Oh, I guess I should look at this hand again on the left here. It is really just a blob. It's a blob that goes up taller. I really like these woodless graphite pencils. Partially because on one that I used to have before I got the set, the last time that I was trying to be an artist, I could use it as like a watercolor pigment. And that's partially why I got this set, because I remember doing that and remembered that it was a lot of fun. But you can't actually do it with a set. I imagine either the leads are too hard, because the one that I had before was like the softest lead that you could buy, basically. Or sketching out some shadows here. Or they're just higher quality in general. I mean, I'm trying to sketch a blob and make it look like a hand. Probably the fingers are too fat. Oh my. Not really a vast improvement, but that is okay. She's like doing like a stop hand, like, stop. Let's look at the original reference again. Yeah, that doesn't help. I'm just going to trust that if, when you look really closely at both reference photos, her hand looks like just like a blob, then, oh hi Jeff Mack, then if I try and follow it as closely as possible, oh, this might be some part of the problem too. Fatten that arm up a little bit. That my blob will eventually look like a hand as well. Alright, so now I'm going to be really adventurous and start putting some of the shadow on her face. This is a little bit darker here. Let me do that. Can you tell that I'm stalling the shadow on her face? Alright, the very darkest shadow, just like here and here, is on her neck. And it goes here. I gotta better erase the graphite while I'm doing this though. And there's a little bit on her nose, but not quite as dark. I'm just gonna draw in this. Even though you can't see it at all. To kind of help me. I don't know if that's better. Oh well. Onward! Just very, very light shadows. Hi, slime ball. Sorry about having to wait to get the Switch. I'm super duper super excited to play the new Zelda game. It's basically everything I wanted in an open world game. At least I assume it is. Because I really love Skyrim, but it's just a little bit too dark and icky for me sometimes. Like, I don't know, you run into cultists sacrificing people in the woods occasionally. And other things like that. So, like, I played a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to for the coolness factor of it. Because it was just a little bit too dark generally. But, like, now it's a Zelda game that's open world and we'll have all this content, and I'm so excited. Alright. I'm gonna look one more time at the whole picture and see if there are any other super duper dark areas on her body that I should shade in right now. %90 of drawing is just looking. And all of my talents are just following instructions and looking and doing so. Ha, slime ball, that's funny. This here is a little bit darker. Like, I like to knit and sew, and those are both just doing minute repetitive tasks. And drawing is kind of the same way, except you really have to develop your sense of looking. Alright. And then there's some really dark shadow up here in her hair too. I don't know if there's any remapping on the Switch controller, Jeff. I think Slimeball was 90% making a joke so that he could make a really hilarious pun. I don't know why like puns have this bad rap in the comedy world. Probably because they put them on like Laffy Taffy rappers. Sure, Slimeball, I'll show it to you again. Let me pull up my software. So this is the original picture of it I'm drawing, and I'm going to try and put all that color in there, which is just really beautiful and dynamic. And then this is the one that I'm working off of right now, which just has all the shadows in it. And it also has my grid on it so that I can paint my numbers, basically. Turn off the reference again. So I'm just putting in the last of the basic layer of shadow here. The stream is going to be a lot of me just drifting off when I start a sentence, which, since I'm fairly certain all of you come from Josh's channel, should be very familiar to you. Alright, so like that a little bit more, so I don't lose it. There we go. Now, I will move on to the colors. Oh, excuse me. I want to make a fairly good headway into this before I quit, but as I mentioned earlier, I probably will not be finishing it tonight, because I woke up at 5 to go to work. So I store my pencils rubber banded by color type. That's a tip that I picked up in one of the art books that I've started obsessively reading in my latest art person stint. And I actually made a really cool pencil case for all of them, but it was a little smaller than I meant it to be because the zipper that I had was only 9 inches long, so it had to conform to that. Yeah, slime ball. But then I bought more art supplies, and it had just barely fit before, and then it didn't fit at all after that. Let's see. Do some yellow orange, some canary yellow maybe, just some regular orange. Vermilion is probably too red. Let me look at my picture here. No, there's definitely some red in there. Let's see. Vermilion. Then some cream and beige for her face, probably. There's cream. Normally I go through when I'm picking out a color palette and I decide beforehand what I'm going to use, but I'm a little bit disorganized this time around. Oh yeah, a bit of goldenrod too. And just that. But yeah, the book that I've most recently read about drawing was actually a guide to nature journaling, and it's been a really good read. Even though he does focus a lot on, obviously, the subject of his book, which is nature journaling, he has just a lot of good tips for drawing in general. Oh, there's the YouTube video. All right, let's see. So I like to go. Let me find the other picture. Sorry. Again, with that vague trailing off that you all know and love. I'm trying to decide if I want to go one direction or if I want to start with one color group and do that instead, but I think I'm going to go one direction. No relation to the band. And start at her hand. Hooray. Let's do this. I think I'm seeing a bit of green in her hand. And in some of the other places. So I'm gonna hop up and grab one of my green pencils again. Yeah, Josh, I subverted that joke already. So you're too late. Alrighty, so I grabbed 2 green pencils. I got a light green chartreuse and a kind of darker greeny of lime peel, and hopefully between the 2 of those I'll be able to affect the effect that I want. Because I just want the barest hint of green, probably with a bit of cream over it. And I guess I'm locking into this hand. I'm just gonna erase these very dark marks a little bit, not too much. And the green goes down to about here, I'd say. And just fades really quickly. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, my pencil needs to be sharpened. Just lay down some quick color. I don't know that I need a mod, but if I ever do need a mod, then I expect that Josh will become a mod. I'm just experimenting right now, really, to see how accurate my color scheme is. Josh. I'm not too into music, honestly, myself. Slimeball. A little lighter on the orange. I'll listen to music, but I don't really do it by myself. I'm gonna sharpen this pencil real fast. It's gonna drive me crazy. Here, let me turn down the volume so you guys can't hear it. There we go. Nice and pointy. Yeah, like, I have some music on my phone, but often I'll just end up having my earbuds in my ears and not listening to music on the way to and from work. Because I still want that don't talk to me kind of social barrier there. But I'm bored of all the music on my phone and I don't particularly want to listen to music anyway, so. So I'm just starting out with a layer of cream over the shadow here. I really should be erasing these pencil marks more. But I still want a really firm guide for when I do the background darkness. See ya, Slimeball. But I'm definitely one of those weird freak cases when it comes to music. Oh, I should have a page to help me from. One more second. I realized that I was smudging up my drawing before it even got any good. Oh, that's funny, Slimeball. That was a quick hello. Either that I'm being very negligent of the chat right now. Probably both. I guess you can't say hello to Penny if you're banned. I'm going to start pretty light on the golden orangey of her arm. Probably just with this yellow orange. And see where that takes me. There's a pretty stark difference between the colored area of her arm and the highlight of her arm. Like along the edges that I haven't shaded there. Well, if you know anyone that would be interested in watching a random person draw, you can definitely invite them into the chat to hang out and ask questions. But we're talking and having a nice conversation, Slime Ball, so... I was just measuring the arm there to see what the proportions were. They seem pretty spot on. Hooray for me! Hi Timur, glad you're back. We've started adding color. Let me look at what it looks like on screen. Just a little tiny bit of green right here. Just very lightly. And back here. Kind of browny shadow. Blender pencil. There's a technical term for that where you take something that is not a verb and turn it into a verb. That was one of the more fascinating parts of my linguistics class in college. Linguistics is very interesting, although apparently I can't say it when it's 10 o'clock at night. My brain turns off earlier than that. I aim to please serve something pithy and clever. I'm gonna put a little bit of pale vermilion on the lower portion of her arm, starting in the shadow here. Just very gently. Because it's a little redder. There's a bit of a gradient. It goes about up here. I also made this shadow too dark. But just kind of roll with what you do with your art. Alright, and then I'm going to put some yellow in here too. There's my yellow. And bring this down some more. That's understandable, Timor. Sometimes mine turns off at like 9 o'clock sharp. I'll be going, and then like all of a sudden I'll be too exhausted to live. And then I'll realize that it's after 9. Probably not, Josh. What? My camera's being stupid? Josh to the rescue! I mean, we can look at my stream thingy. Or he's gone. There's my eraser. Handy. There's a bit of gray on her face too. I'm just gonna pull that out real fast while I'm thinking about it. It's probably a warm gray. So I got like 50,000 grays in this pencil set that I bought, which is really nice because I do like doing monochromatic artwork. But I got like 6 greens, so it's just kind of weird. French gray, where are you? Probably in the center. Nope. That is the one unfortunate thing about bundling all your pencils together by type. Like, you can't just go like, my grays are in order by percentage and type. You actually have to look for everything if you have a specific color in your mind. There it is.
Just ignore me.
We're ignoring Josh this time, and he's also rescuing me again. And I find your 50 Shades of Grey. 50,000 Shades of Grey. Let me look at your conversation. I bet it was funny.
What?
I just want to read your conversation more.
Oh, there wasn't much happening. Well, I mean, you said that you had like 50,000 different shades of gray.
I know. That's why I was funny. You're welcome to go to sleep, Timor, but I'm hoping that this is just very relaxing and can help ease you into that mind space where you can fall asleep easily. Or you could just hang out with us forever and ever. That would be fun too. After I spend 50,000 years on her chin, I'm going to erase it so I can put the color pencil in. Oh, I think I understand a little bit what the problem was. I was following this harsh shadow here when I was drawing it. Yeah, we just need a better webcam, Josh. But it actually goes out a little bit past this point. And her cute little nose. Alright, moving on. Well, actually, there's some gray here too. I'm glad you're finding this relaxing, Timor. When I was a kid, I used to watch Bob Ross all of the time, and that was partially what got me interested in, like, into art. And I just kind of want to replicate that feeling. Although apparently there was some controversy in Bob Ross's life, and that he went to Japan, I think, and to learn his particular style of wet on wet oil painting, which is fairly unique, from this teacher there. And then he came to this side of the world and, you know, made a boatload of money off of it, selling it as if it was his own idea. Or rather, just casually not mentioning that he had not come up with this kind of new technique on his own, and selling, you know, equipment and stuff. But he was very nice to watch nonetheless. Alright. Poor slime ball. Shouldn't be grounded for curiosity. Laying some cream over this yellow to soften it a bit. I'll probably follow up with some white to soften it even more. And then I'll hit the dark oranges on her face. There's just a big white patch right here. When 50 Shades of Grey first came out and it was still a big controversy, there was this Kickstarter that was 99 Shades of Grey or 100 Shades of Grey. I think it was 99 Shades. And it was literally just like a little like tabletop book that was one shade of gray each, like starting just barely not white and going to just barely not black. And it was kind of like a jokey, like, you only got the 50 Shades of Grey earlier, now get the rest for half the price or whatever. It was really funny. Timur, he publishes his schedule on Twitter. Although I imagine it changes a little bit occasionally. The trick to color pencils is to do it very lightly and to do lots of layers. I'm still developing that talent to do it so lightly that you can do like 50 layers. The thing that I really like about drawing is that I can be drawing and I'll look up and it's 2 hours later, so. Alright. Some more orange, I think. Over here. One thing that I want to experiment with soon is doing an underpainting in watercolor pencil, or even just regular watercolors, but what I have is watercolor pencils. And see if that works well with this paper. See, it's already coming apart a little bit. My paper is a little cheap. See ya, Timur. Thanks for stopping by. So I guess I'm done with that area. Let's burnish this a little bit more. Alright, time for some punch of orange on her face. Yellow, orange. Josh is laughing in the other room, and I keep like glancing at the chat to see what he's laughing at. But I think he's gotten distracted, which is understandable. See ya, Slimeball. Have fun drawing. Oh, I see. But I still hope you have fun drawing. Some more pale vermilion in these shadowy areas. And blended it upwards into the face as a kind of gradient. And downwards, I suppose, because there's more dark shadow up here on her hair. No, slime ball, we haven't. We have to regroup our budget for a while now. Which is pretty disappointing, but it is what it is. I mean, I'll have other birthdays, and there'll be other trips to see my family. I'm blending. Another thing that you're supposed to be able to do underpaintings for colored pencils with is Copic markers. I'd also be interested in trying that, but as previously established, I just have watercolor pencils and color pencils right now. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation, but I'm very glad that our car broke down 1 hour outside of home rather than in the middle of this like 16-hour trip, or you know, any variation of that really. Although it might have been better if we had broken down 1 hour outside of my mom's house so that we could have still gone on our vacation. But either way, our budget is pretty shot right now. I think he used oil paint, Slimeball. It looks like oil paint to me anyways. And that was a pretty common art form back then. I'm glad we're in agreement on that matter. It's very important. I'm just gonna do the barest glimmer of green here, because it's kind of like a brown shadow. And this should give it just the brownest little tint. And there's a bit here and here. Oh, just looking again. I know that's terribly interesting to watch. It's kind of an important aspect. I'm really excited to figure out the storyline of this Zelda game. Josh just agreed vehemently from the other room. Alright. That's good for... Well, actually, I need some more pale vermilion. Right here. Nice little punch of red. Well, it's actually orange, but it's an orangey red is what I mean. That the overall appearance is going to have more red in it. You're funny, dear. If I was good at doing voices, I would do an avatar-based voice from the Ember Island players. About how you're an incurable prankster or something. Yeah, Josh, I think you might have a problem. He's turning up my music for me. So hopefully you can all hear it now. I mean, it is plugged in. My phone's probably almost out of battery, though. Let me see. Yeah, it has 1%. So that's fun. Oh, it just died. No music for anyone. Hahaha. I'm just doing a layer of orange here. Josh's desk looks like some kind of tentacle monster. So I don't even know, like, where I could plug in my phone. Oh, here's a charging cord. That might work. And this is the part where the breaker goes out. Oh, thanks, Amir. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully the music will be back up in a second, friends.
What are you trying to do?
And my phone died.
Oh.
And now you're eating cereal?
Yeah.
Wow. 3 burritos and a bowl of cereal.
You need a cube.
Oh, it's not plugged in?
No, it's not plugged in.
Ha ha ha. Now that would explain that problem. Just bringing in the extension cord so we don't.
Samir.
Hi. I already said hello to him.
Oh, you already said hello to him?
Yeah. Thank you for thinking that I'm cool. I hope to live up to that assumption. Probably more white here, actually. It's a very bright kind of highlight. Might have been better to leave it blank, but oh well. Alrighty. Oh, a little bit brighter on her nose here too. There we go. That's a bit better. Slime ball. Josh, it's called the views hole. We've all been there. Yeah. Josh just is watching like 3 things at once, including my stream. He's just too hungry for entertainment. Alrighty. Time to scroll to a different area of the picture. There's my mouse. It takes a child to get in, but a warrior to get out. Oh, this focus isn't super great either. Let's see. Oh, my phone came back on. Soon there will be music for everyone. I mean, can you see what I'm drawing? Is it just me that has poor quality? Let me see if I can mess with the focus a little. Except, where do I do that? Oh, my phone came back on. Soon there will be music for all. There it is. I'm gonna mess with the focus, I think, if I can remember how to do that. I don't know how to do that, actually. I don't think it's on OBS. Josh. Thanks, Slimeball. See, Wellish? I was just noticing that, like, you can't... Like, her head looks like even more of a blob. So, where's the focus for the camera again?
It's on the camera.
For this camera.
Oh, for that camera?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, like, it's a little out of focus. Oh, it wasn't in OBS. That was my first problem. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Is that any better?
No. It could just be that the camera isn't super great.
I mean, it is. It's just not that sharp.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just feel like you can't really see, like, the detail in her face. But that's okay. Moving on, then.
I mean, if I turn up some of the contrast, the brightness now. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you, dear. Yeah, that does look a little better. I appreciate it. I'm doing OBS rather than Elgato because it's just through the computer. I'm not doing any sort of gaming thing. Alright. Oh. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it soon, friends, but I think I'll continue for now. As mentioned previously, drawing is one of the wonderful things where you can just work at it and then look up and realize it's about an hour after you meant to finish. So, this is very feathery here. But the problem is I also don't want to stop. Yep, he's gone now. That's okay. It's a little better, and like I'll mess with it some other time and try to find like really sharp details. We practiced with it, or rather we messed with it previously. Yesterday, in fact. Oh, excuse me. But like we were just doing pen jottings for experimentation, and apparently this is different enough. Let's go to her arm next. Here it is. I found the correct pencil, friends. Oh, I can go back to music now. So it's not just me and silence that you are hearing. This chair is really uncomfortable. In case you were curious. Yes, yes you do. It's an antique chair though, which is kind of neat, I guess. Right, Slimeball. A better office chair has been on the docket for a while now. We just haven't gotten around to it. For a while, this was the only chair we owned. Because it was the only one that we didn't get rid of when we were moving. Because we didn't want to buy a truck. But it's an antique, which is pretty cool, I guess. So it's been making people uncomfortable for generations now. Slimeball, I sit on my ego so sooner or later I can get rid of it. That's really funny. I wouldn't have thought that a person's ego could be big enough to carry them. Excuse me. Yeah, this paper just doesn't take very many layers of colored pencil, which is pretty disappointing. I gained 15 subs? I don't... When was the last time you checked, Slimeball? Although I guess Josh did give me a shout out right in his stream. Because I don't think there's been 15 new people watching me today. It was a very cheap pad though. It was $15 for like 100 pages of fairly heavyweight paper. So it makes sense that it isn't the greatest, but it's good enough to learn on for me, so. Thanks, Slimeball. To be fair, I am trying to exactly copy something. So they aren't exactly my own shadows that I have engineered, but I am trying. Well, it's cool that I'm gaining subs. I really think that this could be a good idea for a YouTube channel. But obviously only time will tell, so. Erase this line here. It's not a very firm line in the drawing. The graphite, I mean. It is getting a little late, you're right, sweetie. It's hard for me to keep track of time when I'm drawing. Because I'm like, ooh, I'll just draw this one thing. And oh look, this other thing needs to be drawn too, and I'm already holding the color, so. But yeah, I'll be done soon. So that I can sleep. Oh, and I'm forgetting to use my shield again. Because I'm an arch noob. Oh, yep, and see, paper's coming apart a little bit right there. Stupid paper. Why won't you just be great? Yeah, it is almost 11 for us. What time is it for you, Slimeball? I'm usually asleep by now, honestly. As previously mentioned, I get up pretty early for work. It's a pretty strong green right here. Laying in some lime peel. Probably follow it up with some gray. I was mildly considering streaming until I was finished, dearest. But obviously that's a little unrealistic, since this will probably take me 4 more hours. So yeah. So probably won't live stream until I'm finished. But like I said, I just keep getting distracted by drawing more. I mean, color pencil is a very slow medium. Like, I would probably already be finished if I was doing this in watercolor or something. I mean, I do want to try out watercolor sometime, but color pencils are less expensive and less mess and require similar talents to just drawing with a pencil. I mean, I need a very sharp pencil for those details on the belt. I don't think I can get it. Yeah, I'll just leave that until next time. I'll just stop soonish. Josh has a water problem and then I have an art stopping problem. Is it? Did I bump it? Oh well. So the real question though is, how often should I stream? I unfortunately don't have time to do every day, even though my goal is to draw every day. I was thinking of shooting for maybe twice a week. But I don't know. Hi again, Parker. It's good to see you. We've added some color. Hopefully the face looks a little bit like a face, because there's nothing I can do about it now. But I think it does. Maybe I'll wake up and I'll hate it tomorrow. Maybe I'll love it. Could go either way. Thank you, Parker. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the artwork itself. You've eaten a lot, Josh, but I feel like you didn't eat much today. Your appetite. All my words are slipping now. Has been pretty non-existent as far as I can tell. So, you know, I mean, eat to live. And cereal is yummy. This unfortunately might have to be one of those situations where I tear myself away. Because I don't want to stop, but I should stop. Because I have to go to sleep. But, responsibility. Waking up and doing things on a Saturday. You know, lame stuff like that. Just live stream forever, yes. Why do you feel like that, Parker? Parker says he's feeling like he's having OCD. Josh's picture is off center? Like his little logo thing? I don't know. I don't see it. Okay. Why have you been staring at your phone for days, Slimeball? That hand is definitely turning into a big blob. What I really need is this for the hands, but it might be too late. This is a pretty cool thing. It's just a little embossing tool. It has a small end and a slightly larger end that's still pretty small. It's good for small highlights. Like you emboss the paper, and then theoretically, your color pencil won't go into the paper that way. So I'm just outlining the fingers now to hopefully highlight them. But like I said, it might be too late because I was kind of mucking about in that area already. Hi, Penny. Thank you for the raid. I was actually just about to end, but I've been telling myself that for like 15 minutes. Thank you, Cameron the Great. Welcome, everybody, by the way. Cameron, Penny. I'm sorry, I'm just staring at your name now, trying to figure out how to say it, but it starts with ZZ. Welcome. It's too late for a name like that in my life. MDM Gaming, Ridicule Hazard. I think that's it. But thank you all. I really appreciate it. We're just drawing Zelda here. Kodik. Sweet. Alright. Hi Z. Sorry, my brain just like short-circuited when I saw your name on YouTube. So let me show you guys what I'm drawing here. I'm super duper hyped about the new Zelda game that's coming out. That came out today, and my husband Josh actually did a live stream of it just before this live stream. You guys should check it out if you're interested. But I am drawing this still from the trailer. And here we are. So, we've done the shadows, and we've started doing the hand and the colors. Right now, I'm focusing on this devilish little hand here, which may or may not come out looking like a hand, but we'll just see. We'll go where the drawing takes us, I suppose. And yes, my reference is down. I made that mistake earlier where I just left it up for like a minute there. Alright, let's see. I really need a harder color pencil to do these very, very fine lines, but I only have the soft core pencils, so I will just make do. I'm glad you're finding the music relaxing, Josh. That was kind of the idea. I want this just to be a nice, relaxing sort of encounter on the internet. Just a little bit of green here. There we go. A little bit more white here. I'm sorry you're not relaxed, Parker. Well, drinking a Mountain Dew might have contributed to the hyper aspect. Well, if you can figure out how to fall asleep with headphones, Josh, you can listen to this. I'm not into the idea of listening to music as I fall asleep, which I'm sure is just shocking for everyone who knows me. Josh. I hope you're falling asleep in a good way, Cameron. I'm not sure how I can help you wake up, Cameron. You might just have to do like 15 jumping jacks or something. And here comes Parker with the song lyrics. There have been quite a few song lyrics in this stream today. Well, you don't have to love a song to quote it randomly when it seems pithy. Now Josh and Parker are arguing, or fake arguing more accurately, over whether or not that's a good song. Feel free to weigh in if you have an opinion. How do I have 20 likes? That's awesome. I'm so glad that people are enjoying themselves. Yeah, first stream hype. All thanks to a hype raid and awesome friends and fans. Oh, there's my orange pencil. It was hiding. Well, Cameron, there was a fight, or a pretend fight, that broke out in the chat. That's pretty exciting. In case anyone doesn't know, Parker and Josh are internet friends. And here comes Slimeball with more lyrics. I always feel like I'm insulting a few of the YouTubers out there that have insults in their names. Sorry, I'm just getting a text. I was trying to look at my own stream for reference for a second there. That's a pretty solid sign that I should go to bed. There are these really like soft, loose shadows in her skirt. I'll put up the reference so you can kind of eyeball it. But like coming down from her waist and extending to the right, there's just these really soft shadows. And it's interesting because it doesn't necessarily look like something that would happen because of the way that the fabric is laying. It looks almost blotchy. So it's probably an effect of the magic that's going on here. Yeah, Josh, exactly. And then there's that regular that you have that's called Sucker for Games or something. And I almost don't want to talk to him. I feel so bad about calling him a sucker. I'm just going to finish up the gray in the skirt, and then I think I'll have to call it for tonight, unfortunately. Because it really is getting late. But this is my favorite way to spend an evening, is drawing. They're just joking, Cameron. They're friends. I know both of them pretty well. I know Josh better than anyone here in this chat, though. He's my husband. Let's see. I don't even know if you can tell, but yeah, you can see the gray there. I'm just doing the really soft, loose shadows. I'm not too concerned about being 100% screen accurate, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Just putting in some nice loose shadows. Oh, good. I would almost begin to call you an internet friend, though, Slimeball. I mean, we've chatted a few times. I've chatted slightly fewer more with Parker, though. Here comes Josh again.
Cameron, I'm not trolling you.
I don't know why YouTube keeps timing you out, Parker. I don't know why that's too surprising, Cameron. What are you doing now?
Well, your camera is like super delayed. It was bothering me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I have no way to fix it while you're streaming. So. You've been going for almost 3 hours.
It's really relaxing to draw. It feels like you've been drawing for like 10 minutes.
Well, and see, now you like always get on me about how long I spend streaming. And now you understand. But, like, you just
now I understand.
You just start streaming, and then
and then it
it's
just
like 4 hours later, and you're like, what the crap?
See, the thing is that doesn't happen with me with video games. It just happens with drawing and reading and gardening.
Let's see.
I guess you came from a Penny stream, huh, Cameron? So you might not know the established background of... Oh, you probably just think I'm really young. I'm 25. Hi. I'm an adult. Well, we live in the same house, Parker, so... Sorry, I didn't realize that was the problem that you were having with this. It's like, I mean, people get married, like, what is going on here? That would explain your consternation, though. And also, I'm not wearing my wedding ring because it is being fixed right now. So you're justified in your confusion. That's awesome, Slimeball. That sounds like a really fun one. I guess you'd have to know what Parker's face looked like, though. But maybe not. Alright. I should probably call it a night as I continue drawing. It's like when you tell yourself you're going to just finish the page and then it's just finished the chapter, but that chapter was a cliffhanger, so you can't just stop there because that would just totally be unfair to yourself. And then the next thing you know, you've read a 400-page book in one night and it's 7 in the morning and you have school in 30 minutes. Just draw forever, yes. So there we go. Probably about half completed at this point. My take on Zelda being a magical person. I'm excited to see how that comes up in the game. Oh yeah, no worries, Cameron. I do look really, really... Oh, hi, Aiden. We're just about to end. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the scene comes up in the game, and I'm excited to see some of the emotion that was in the trailer come up in the game. It seems like they're taking this to a very good place when it comes to emotional depth and character depth in this game, just from the trailer. But I will be streaming again soon. I'm either going to be streaming, I want to say conservatively Monday night, or maybe just Friday night again next week, and we will finish this piece, and it will be awesome. So thank you so much for coming to my stream. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Parker and Josh and Slimeball and Cameron and everyone in the raid. And thank you, Aiden. I'm sorry that we're ending immediately, but there will be more streams, and hopefully this can just become a good place to come and relax and talk. Bye. Sorry, I have to find my streaming software.